So today I'm on the countryside.
This is a world.
This is a world premiere.
This is a world.
So I came out to Ohio. My husband's parents, I guess my in-laws, live on a farm outside of Columbus, Ohio. And so today the mukbang is coming from a little farm. I kind of want to get right into it because I don't know if we're going to have like complete privacy, so I'm going to try to, just know if I get quiet all of a sudden, it's because there's, we have guests, and you can probably hear some voices in the background. I don't know if you will be able to hear those things, if they'll get picked up, but I am going to try to be as earnest as possible with knowing that we don't have 100% privacy like we normally do. So there's a lot of things that I mentioned that I might want to talk about with you guys today. One of them, I was really inspired by a video that Oh Trisarahtops made recently about relationship anarchy. I was really fascinated by the idea, and that is that somehow traditionally relationships exist within this hierarchy with, things like our significant other at the top, family members, depending on what stage we are at our lives, family members, friends, work acquaintances, and then, just the people that we don't feel we have any connection to. And this concept is something that I have, not relationship anarchy, I'd never heard of relationship anarchy before watching Sarah's video, but there's something powerful about this idea that we can sort of take our relationships, remove ourselves from that way of thinking about relationships, and understand, in the same way that we understand that all lives are important, all relationships are important. And if we removed any of the relationships that we have in our lives, our life would not be as rich and as full. And so there may be relationships that seem more important to us. There may be relationships that seem more important to us, but that might simply be because we're buying into a kind of status quo, dominant culture way of looking at our relationships. So, excuse me, I left my phone on. We'll be turning that off. Okay, so now we should have a little bit more. So you may see people walking around in the background as well, so don't be alarmed. Those are, my in-laws. You might see my in-laws, but I'm just going to try to kind of try to keep pressing through and hope that people get the idea. So this idea that our relationships don't have to exist in this hierarchy. I mean, and certainly there are going to be people that mean more or less to us as we move through our lives and as we find ourselves being more or less rewarded by the time that we spend with that individual. But that person isn't necessarily going to be that the person who exists to play that key role in terms of society, in terms of the way society has set those relationships, has placed those relationships. So there may be a time when you're, the person that you're married to, if you even, believe in that concept of marriage, but there may be a time when the person that you're married to isn't the key relationship in your life. There might be someone else who, at that moment, is enriching you better, helping you become the best version of yourself in a way that is more central than the person who you might be like married to or someone that you're sleeping with. And certainly there are people who don't see the people that they sleep with as central at all, right? So that exists. So that was something that I thought really deserved discussion. I mean, and if we think about the way our friendships in our lives can often overshadow our relationships with our families, and because of the way these relationships have been structured ideologically, and I think they're structured this way ideologically because they serve a function. When we think outside of that ideological box, we can relieve a lot of the guilt that we feel because, we haven't called this family member or that family member, and that family member hasn't called us either, right? But we feel a certain amount of guilt because they are supposed to be serving this particular function, which they may not be. And we might be looking to other places. And certainly the same is true in my relationship. I often find that there are times when I am I'm having a deeper engagement with people who I'm not married to, who aren't my husband. And there's a reason that those relationships are given such high status. And I hate to say this because I hate to sound cynical about any relationships. And I don't want to offend anyone's sensibilities, but, things like family, the family exists as a control formation in our society. The family is kind of what keeps people from. The family has generally been indoctrinated with, those societal norms, those norms in terms of their ways of thinking, the things that are most valuable to society. And so the family can sometimes, in a good way, keep people in line with what's acceptable to the society, but they can also keep people from transforming. And I'll give you an example. As I was talking to my mother-in-law about just making this video, she was totally sweet about it, but she made faces that made it clear that she didn't quite understand. And there are different ways that she might have been, right? She might have said, "Oh, that sounds very interesting," or she might have said, "I've never heard of anything like that. Tell me more." But what she did was she shifted her demeanor to project something other than full support. She projected something other than full support, and so I think it's really important for us to be willing to rupture conformity when it comes to relationships, because sometimes the people that are really the people that we might think we're supposed to be depending on to really become our best selves might not have the capacity to do it. So again, what do you think? What do you think about the concept of relationship anarchy? And do check out Oh Trisarahtops' video on the topic. I'll include a link in the description box. So we're here because it's the state fair. And I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to see my husband. since we live a 9-hour drive away. And this is 3 hours from Detroit. Not even 3 hours. Oh, you guys. I got a speeding ticket. Oh my God, it was awful. We'll get back to all this stuff. I got a speeding ticket. So, Michigan has a very different speed limit than the Michigan speed limit is 10 miles per hour faster than Ohio. In Michigan, it's 70 miles per hour. In Ohio, it's 60 miles per hour, or maybe it's 65. But you know, the traffic flows faster than the speed limit. So the traffic tends to flow, 75, 80 miles per hour in Michigan. So I was still a little bit in my Michigan headset while I was driving in Ohio, and I got pulled over. $138 ticket. And y'all know things are tight right now because I'm not working, right? So, I'm working. I'm on, I'm on basically on a retainer with the theater company because I'm still doing work remotely, but that's not a lot of money. so, just to think that, a third of my, stipend is going to get used this month on paying that traffic ticket. So, bummer. Commiserate with me. Commiserate with me. All right. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I'm here. I'm on the farm. It's very interesting. So, my husband's parents live on, I believe, a 40-acre farm. And of course, I can't hear 40 acres without thinking, hey, 40 acres and a mule. That's what they were supposed to give all the freed slaves after slavery. Ha! That didn't happen. And apparently, Rutherford B. Hayes had something to do with that. So I'll look up and report back on you about what happened with the 40 acres and a mule. But that didn't happen. The 40 acres and a mule thing did not happen. So if people are going around believing that every slave after slavery was given 40 acres, which, could you imagine the wealth that might have been accumulated by African families after slavery if they had, had not only, 40 acres of land and the resources to run it, right? So you can give somebody 40 acres, but if they don't have, if all they have is a mule, it's not going to take them that far, right? It's not going to take them that far anyway, because you basically need, you need equipment, you need whatever, you need all these things, right? And people were coming out of slavery with nothing, right? And definitely no back paycheck, right, for that. But that's regardless. So even when I think about that land, regardless of the 40 acres of mule who was given land, but just to always understanding that there were people who were here who were existing in all of this space, and then another group of people came and kind of sat down on it and said, this is mine. And so even that, so I'm just thinking about the fact that someone has, 40 acres that may or may not, rightfully, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. But there's a contradiction, right? That's a pretty deep contradiction. So I'm here for the county fair. And of course, I wasn't really told that it was the county fair when I was planning to come. Now you can imagine what the feature of a county fair in a rural area like this is, right? So apparently my nephew is going to be showing a cow or a bull. I don't know. should I go? Should I go and see it and see for myself? I don't know. I just feel like it will make me upset. But if you're from the country, the countryside, if you're from rural areas, that is one of the ways that young people are indoctrinated into, thinking of animals as, properties. When you're a kid, you join the 4-H club and you learn how to do all the things that you need to live, like the things that you need to survive. And one of those things that you need to survive is obviously, an understanding of animal husbandry. And so you see all of these young people showing their animals and, seeing, winning prizes for, what the animal did, right? It's the animal that's, this, perfect specimen or what have you, but the person is winning the prize for what the animal did. And then that animal likely will be sold off and, butchered, right? And be like, an expensive item on someone's menu, right? So I loathe the idea of going to see the whole community coming together over, again, the death of animals. So it was overcast when I came out here, and now it's super bright. Yeah, so forgive me, y'all, if I'm a little bright, but so yeah, so that's what I'm in. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. So I'm a little bit in. I'm in the thick of it. I'm in the thick of it. And so, obviously, I have all of my own food. I stopped at the grocery store and picked some things up. So I'd have, food. So I know that Ryan Gardner, who is Hot Vegan Eats, is in Columbus, and I'm not far from Columbus. So no, who knows? I might stop by and get Ryan to make me some food that doesn't have, animals in it, or that wasn't, created to be the side dish to the murder of some animal, right? I don't know. I'm not trapped. I'm not trapped here or anything. If I want to, I can just go. Just get back in my car. Go back to it. So somebody's on a tractor. Oh, so it looks like my brother-in-law, the famous brother-in-law from the 4th of July, from Independence Day, is on a tractor. So, yeah, that I didn't tell you guys that part. So, after bopping around from place to place, my brother-in-law bought the additional 40 bought an additional 40 acres next door. So I'm sitting here on my in-laws' property, looking at this other huge, a lot of land. I'm surrounded by a lot of land, questioning what that means. So, anyway. But I'll fill you in. I'm sure there are going to be some conversations that I'll be backing out of during the time that I'm here. So I'll be back tomorrow I'll head back tomorrow for sure if I don't, decide that I just need to go and head back tonight. I'd say I would take my nieces and nephews to see Sausage Party, but it's a little adult if I didn't make clear that Sausage Party is not for kids. Don't take your kids to see that. So Maureen, Janine, her channel, she's not been posting, but I think we should give her a pass because apparently she had some technical difficulty with her camera or with her computer, and so I think we're going to end up getting some videos later on. But we may be missing some days from Maureen Janine. So what should we do? Especially since her birthday is going to be at the end of the month. No, I'm not like if you guys got it like that and you guys want to get her a new computer and send it to her, like that's great. I'm sure she'll be fine. But yeah, I think just make sure you stop in on her channel and show her some support because it must stink to be the only kid whose balloon got deflated in the middle of the parade. I haven't talked about the fact that this watermelon is so good. It's really good. I imagine it's local. I mean, since this is the countryside. So, if you didn't get it from my last video, I'll probably post the schedule in the about section, because now there's starting to be a little bit of a schedule, right? On this channel, right? There's definitely the Convertible on Tuesdays, and then the Hump Day Rant on Wednesdays, and then the Fridays are the Happy It's Friday, and then I've been trying to do just updates on the house on Altspace on Saturdays, and the Sunday mukbang. So the only days that aren't really programmed right now are Mondays and Thursdays, and I have a feeling that those will have something. I don't mind having a flexible day, like maybe Mondays will be flexible moving forward, and who knows, I may or may not be posting a video every single day, so there's a chance that I won't be posting on Mondays and Thursdays. Those will be my days off, so we'll see what happens. So my sister-in-law is coming up right now, but she'll figure out that I'm making a video. But that's her dog Harper. So I know that there were some other things that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, but it's a little distracting for that here. And I'm doing like a really, really good job on this watermelon. So, oh yes, the mukbang. So October is when, and are you guys saying, people are saying mukbang, and I'm sure when I say mukbang, people like want to laugh at me because I don't pronounce it correctly, but whatever. Mukbang sounds just so much more fun. Anyway, but the mukbang, or this will be live starting in October, or at least for the month of October, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to commit to live mukbangs every Sunday in October, and then we'll see if that works, or people might not even show up to watch it, so we'll see. I mean, anyway, So what else? That's pretty much it. that's pretty much it. Oh no. Did you see that? I just spilled watermelon juice all over me. This is so juicy that there's like, I'm gonna do this, y'all. I'm doing it. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but I think I did okay. So that brings this video to a close. Like it if you like it. Share, comment, subscribe. This is Reg signing off. Love yourself.